practice today. Jordan Mason, hamstring, won't practice. Ray McLeod, rib, won't practice. Eric Armstead, foot, won't practice. Spencer Burford, knee, limited.
Is Eric's foot injury something similar to what he dealt with last year?
I'm not sure exactly. Yeah. I know it's his foot. I'm not sure how similar it is.
You kind of want it to rain today, or are there provisions you're doing to prepare for what might be a pretty rainy game on Sunday?
No, I don't want it to rain today. And we'll deal with whatever happens Sunday, but I'd rather be dry out there today, and I don't want to take our team in the bubble, so we'll enjoy being outside today.
I'm sure you've been asked about this, but the Cleveland game definitely seemed to be some slippery stuff for Brock. Do you think there's any changes made there, any preparation there?
No, I mean, a wet ball makes it harder on everybody. I think Brock, I've had some guys who really struggle in the rain. I've been through some situations with Brock, not just a game, but practice. But I think he's as good as any quarterback I've had in rain. He's dealt with it a lot at Iowa State. And I don't think there's much practicing in rain doesn't get less slippery. So we'll just try to have an efficient one today and deal with Sunday.
Do you ever make your quarterbacks practice with a wet ball and practice it?
No.
How do you?
It's usually like that from how sweaty guys are, though, anyways.
How do you practice defending the just push play? Obviously, you can't do the physical.
We're going to do like 10 live reps of it today. And see if we have anybody left after it. No, you don't practice it.
How do you prepare to deal with that? It's such a big part of their.
You coach it up, tell them where we want guys and stuff, and not going to spend a lot of time on it, but we're going to talk about it, show it, and do as good as we can.
What are the keys to stopping Jalen besides the brotherly show? He does so much else.
Yeah, you want to try to keep him out of those situations first and foremost. I know it's possible to stop, but I think it's pretty proven that it's extremely hard. So you try to keep him out of those situations, and they do such a good job of balancing everything out with the dropbacks, the play actions, the RPOs, the quarterback run game, the regular run game. So it's really impossible to stay ahead of them in terms of who has the chalk last. And they got a lot of answers in their run game and stuff, which can put him in some pretty good situations. So you got to be able to weather the storm when they get you. Let it be a first down and not a touchdown. Play very disciplined, very sound, and when you get your opportunity to make plays, you can't miss them.
You talked about the Dallas game being how proud you were of how they stayed in the moment and didn't make it bigger than it was. Does that apply this week too?
Yeah, I think it applies every week, but I think it's always tougher when the moment's a lot bigger outside of the building, just because of obvious ramifications and the history. But the moment is exactly what it is every Sunday, and you got to make sure that's reality for our players.
Bother you at all that you guys are the favorites going into this game? They're the home team. They've lost one game, but you're the favorites.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I don't really know how that stuff works, so I don't really know why.
In terms of preparing for them, can you go back to last January at all, or do you just throw out whatever you were doing, that game plan, and start from scratch?
You throw it out and start from scratch. I mean, you would if it's early in the year, but when you have this much tape, you don't like to watch what they were into last year, or we're just both different teams, different styles. You evolve all the time, and you evolve each week, and I think a lot of that stuff in my history, it hurts you more than it helps.
What challenges do A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith pose?
Every challenge. I mean, they're both true number one receivers. They're both huge threats on the outside of the numbers in every route. They both can run a go route and a comeback. They both can run by you. They both can go up for it. And when they can do that vertically and drop their hips, that's tough on the outside. And they also can run slants and go over the middle. So they're two of the better receivers in this league.
Last year, when you guys lost your quarterback, they ran it 44 times at you guys. The D-line got pushed around a little bit. What do you think about the way your defense looks, run defense-wise, on film?
I think we've done a decent job this year. I think we're ranked-wise pretty good, but I really think we've been going the right direction here these last few weeks, just getting better each week. And Philly's as big of a challenge stopping the run as anyone in the league, not just this year, but over the last few years. So we're ready for the challenge, excited for the challenge, but it's definitely a challenge.
Jalen Hurts last year in the NFC Championship game, going back this year. Is there any management mentally of potential trauma, not to be dramatic, but is there any of that with him, or you don't have to worry about it?
I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't think so at all. I think all that stuff for guys when they have big injuries. I think the first game, the first hit, things like that, they're a little bit vulnerable too with post-traumatic stress. But I think once they get through that stuff, I think it's over for the most part.
Playing Jalen Hurts on Scout team this week?
Sam Darnold, Brandon Allen. I had to think who our quarterbacks were for a sec.
Yeah, you too.
How motivated are you guys to wash away the NFC Championship losses to Philly?
I don't know. I mean, last year it's over with. Neither team finished the job, so it's not like they're looking back and reminiscing on an NFC Championship win either. I'm sure we were both sad at the end of the year. We both have aspirations to win Super Bowls, so it's a new year, and this is a big step for both of us to get to that aspiration.
With the quarterback sneak that they run, has Javon been able to provide any insight? I don't know how much he would have faced it in practice over there, but has that been something to lean on?
No, we haven't talked about that yet.
How much of a statement game is this? I mean, you kind of talked about it, but I mean, you guys, we all know how big this game is, and you might face them again in the playoffs at some point.
You said...
How big of a statement game does it feel like, considering you might play them again in the playoffs?
Definitely a big game. Yeah, just both really good teams. They're super consistent. We've been consistent over the years, so it's going to be good on good.
Kyle's talked about the Dallas game, how proud he was that you guys just totally stayed in the moment where there was a lot of outside buzz and noise about it. This is kind of the same thing. You feel the same way about this one in terms of staying in the moment and just doing your job?
Yeah, it's definitely a big game for us to be on our assignments as a defense, not let the moment get too big, not let the crowd get into it. But yeah, I think we're good at that every week.
What's the key to defending Jalen Hurts?
I'd say take care of the run game as best we can, and then just do our best job of keeping it in the pocket is probably the biggest thing, because those plays that he could get out are super deflating for defenses.
The tush push has been a huge phenomenon, I suppose, in the NFL with the Eagles using it seemingly every week. Have you looked at tape on that? Have you looked into how to stop that?
Not much yet, no.
How big is the advantage that you guys get the extra rest and then they kind of had a longer game, they go into OT?
It could be big, depending on how everybody's feeling. I'm sure when when it kicks off, though, everybody will be rolling full steam.
Nick, Kyle was looking at last year. He talked about everyone's so excited for that game and everyone's so ready for that game. I mean, and not just Kyle, but I just feel like there was a sense of you guys had won 12 in a row, so maybe that makes sense. But you remember the emotion and the feeling of like, obviously you weren't saying we're going to win for sure, but just the confidence you had going into that.
Going into the NFC Championship?
Yeah.
I don't know. We were obviously confident. We were playing great, winning games. But it's hard to think back. You don't really remember games like that. But obviously when you lose your quarterback early and then it becomes a game of kind of plays into their hands, it's tough to stay in it and to play through 4 quarters. But this year should be different.
Nick, what does Mailata and Johnson look like on the film? Is there anything that stands out to you about those two guys?
Some of the best tackles we'll face, probably the best O-line we'll face. Just really good at keeping you off the quarterback. They'll let you get push and do that stuff, but they know their quarterback's mobile, so they hold on, they grab, they do all the vet savvy stuff that guys do. We just have to keep closing the pocket, not get too cute with our rushes, and just rushes one.
Nick, how do you toe the line between using the frustration of what happened in that NFC Championship game like as a tool and then also not getting too caught up in it?
I'm pretty good at letting things go, so it's just next game for me.
Have you had this game circled for a while since the schedule came out, or are you looking forward to this?
I mean, I definitely seen it when the schedule was made. I ain't gonna say I've been circling it, but I've just been taking it game at a time.
Javon, compared to being teammates with those guys on the offensive line for those years, is it a different process when you study them to go against them?
I think I just I mean, they know me like I know them. I think we went at it for about 3 years. So, I mean, I know what to do against them, and I guess they know what to do against me.
Do you even have to watch a lot of film this week?
Nah, I still do it. I'm sure they're doing a lot more different stuff than when I was there, but I got a good feel for it.
What makes that offensive line so successful? You've been around.
I mean, it's just a lot of talent. You got 5 Pro Bowlers on one offensive line, so they all great players, and they got a great coach right behind them.
How much do they actually practice that QB sneak in practice when you're with them?
I don't remember us ever practicing it, so I don't think they really practice it. I think they just detail it for real.
Is there any insight that you could have gleaned from being in the building with them that you can help your teammates out with now against that play?
Not really.
Do you have in your mind your own idea of how to defend that?
Nah.
Really?
I wish.
Javon, is there anything you can do from a technical standpoint to prepare for a game that you bring?
Nah. I guess make sure my cleats are right. And, yeah, that's about it.
What's that stadium like? And a big game. You've been there for a lot of them. What's special about it?
Oh, it's gonna be loud. It's definitely gonna be loud. It's gonna hear a lot of junk talking. It's gonna be a great atmosphere.
Looked like though we were pretty prepared for a push. Philadelphia brings another level. But what is the secret to defending that, if there is one?
No secret sauce. I can't give away my game plan right now. I don't want to give too much away, but we'll try to have a plan for when they do run it.
But I think I heard you said it's just another game, but come on, you guys really feel like this? That this matchup is just another game?
I mean, it's not as much so as to say it's just another game. I'd say people try to blow it up because of the weight of it. However, I mean, it's the biggest one because it's the next one. I think that's what I've said, and there are a lot of implications down the line for this game, but is that going to help you focusing on those things going into this game? Not at all. You got to focus on playing smart football and execute at a high level in order to go into somebody's house who is a 10-1 football team, one of the best teams in the league, and get a win.
How much do you look up last year's film, last year's experience and playing them? I know defensively you guys were on the field for a long time because of the offensive situation. How much do you look at that game as you prepare for this game?
Yeah, you have to look at it. You have to see, how did they prepare for us? What were they trying to attack us with? But it is a brand new team on both sides of the football, so you got to also look at the collective group as a whole.
You have a pretty brand new defensive line compared to last year too. You have Bosa and Eric, obviously, but what's been the vision from your perspective of how that defensive front's been playing?
Just this season?
Yeah.
They've been playing amazing, man. I mean, I think you look at, obviously, so much talent. My bad. You have so much talent in that group, but I think the thing that separates them when they're playing at the highest level is when they're coming out of the stack, when they're playing violent, doing all those things that are the little things that not everybody wants to do, play in and play out. That is what brings the production. Obviously, when we're playing rush and coverage in the back end, bringing the production, on those third down plays that you see. But it's all those little things that people don't necessarily see unless you watch the tape that they're doing.
What are you seeing out of Hargrave? Going back to his old stomping around.
Yeah, right. I'm happy he's on our side, not their side this time around. Just has been so consistent for us in terms of getting just disruption up there in the middle of our defensive line has been such a key piece to what we do all season long. The ability to be available every single week, staying healthy and being as disruptive as he is, physical, out the stack. He fit right into what we do as soon as he got here, so I'm not surprised at all at the way that he's produced and been the player that we needed him to be.
The other unique thing they do is that scrum when they need a yard.
Yep.
How do you defend that?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure yet. I got to do some more film study and figure that one out, but they do it better than anybody, and, kudos to them.
I know you stay out of this a lot, but is bulletin board material even fun for you to even just watch on social media at all?
I try to stay out of it as much as I can. You know how I am, man. I try to keep it strictly to the game, but whatever gets guys going and whatever you need to get yourself going for a game, then so be it.
Fred, what do you remember about the Philly fans and the atmosphere from the NFC Championship?
Man, amazing atmosphere, super fun stadium to be a part of over there. The Philly fans are as passionate of a fan base as there is in this league. Maybe to a fault sometimes, people kind of take it the wrong way, but I mean, I would see it as if I was over there playing for that fan base, I'd be proud to rep them as well. So I think it's going to be a really fun environment, regardless of what they're yapping at you.
Do you notice it when you're playing defensively? Does it affect you guys at all? Just the atmosphere?
I mean, obviously, when the offense makes a big play or something and the crowd is into it and they're roaring, I mean, that is going to feed the opposite team. So you got to limit them from making those big plays so they're not roaring.
That being said, a lot of Red travels too. You guys have a great traveling fan base. Like, the atmosphere, the energy, is there just a constant buzz in those type of games where it's just loud all game long?
Yeah, I mean, it's been super impressive this season, especially. I think every year they're showing out, but this year especially, seeing the faithful in huge numbers on the road has been really fun to see. And they're not only just showing up, I mean, they're showing out with how loud they get. I find myself at times on the road, like waving my arms up, trying to get the crowd loud, like on the road. I mean, that just is unheard of. So if there's a lot of red in the stands this game, that'd be awesome.
A chance of rain in the forecast for Sunday. I think it's like 50-50. Does anything go different into preparation in case it ends up being a wet field like against the Bills on Sunday?
Defensively, probably not. Same, each team got to deal with the rain. I'm sure offense, they're dealing with the ball a little bit more, so that may be something that they have to be aware of. But defensively, we're gonna get out there and roll regardless.
I figure this is a good week for the big picture question. How has Javon Hargrave positively impacted this defense? Obviously, he was in Philly last year, and now he's going to be on this side.
Yeah, you missed my guy over here, man. He asked the same exact question. But no, just to speak on him again, I'll talk about him all day long, man. I mean, I'm so happy that he's on our side this time around. He's such a disruptive force in the middle, and I talked about how consistent he's been all season long. He fits exactly the type of character and the type of players that we have on this team. So from day one, he fit right in. And we're going to need him big time this game moving forward.
Hurts has fumbled in 5 straight games. Are you noticing anything in the way he carries the ball? Is it loose, or is it just more of just happenstance when he's out in the field?
I mean, some of those, it's just like bad luck, especially like last game versus the Bills. They're kind of trying to make a draw play, and the handoff gets kind of fumbled around. They're not on the same page. I'm sure they want to obviously limit a lot of those turnovers, and it's our job to force them.
A little off topic here, but your jacket was on point in Seattle. How do you